All right, Matthew's question is up next. He says they're a 40-year-old. He's a 40-year-old with a family. They're debt-free except for 2 cars. And he just came into a career making over $350K.
Nice.
So that's exciting. He owes $492K on their home at 5.9%. He feels like they're behind on retirement, about $50K. Should he pay off the house or invest or try to do both? Because obviously he's got a pretty high income, right?
Tell me again, he owes $492 at what percent of the mortgage?
5.9%.
5.9%. And then he's got 2 auto loans. Didn't give us any details.
He didn't give us any details. Yeah, Matthew, if you want to give us some thoughts on that, feel free.
So he's 40 years old. Did he say how much? He doesn't say how much he's got saved for the future. He just says by his estimation, he's $50,000 behind.
Yes.
Right. So we get this question all the time, right? Like 5.9%. We have just come through an era of 2.5%, 3.5% mortgages where someone says, oh man, 5.9%, that feels pretty high. I mean, even for someone in the 40s, they're like, is that high interest debt? What's the best use? And so when we think about how you approach making your financial decisions, you have to think about this dollar that I have, what will be the optimized use of this dollar? And when I say optimized, I don't necessarily mean like highest rate of return. I mean, in terms of what my goals are. I kind of list out all my goals from top to bottom. What is the best way that this dollar can help me pursue my highest goals and work down the list? Well, for most folks, they have a goal that they want to be financially independent. They want to be able to one day do what they want on their own terms, on their own time. Well, the way that we do that is we save up a pot of money that can essentially support us so that we don't have to work with our hands and our brain and our back anymore. We can let our dollars work for us. So if that is your top priority, if financial independence is your top priority, and you have arrived at the assessment that, yeah, man, I'm $50,000 behind, I feel like I'm not where I should be from a savings standpoint, I think it probably, just based on this, without knowing, this is not specific advice, but without knowing your specific situation intimately, it sounds like maybe your dollars will be better served continuing to build up your army of dollar bills as opposed to satisfying the mortgage. Even though 5.9 is not like the lowest mortgage rate ever, I still think that those dollars, if you go look at the wealth multiplier, have the opportunity to do more for you as an asset builder than as a liability reducer. Agree, disagree, want to fight?
It's almost like there is a instruction manual for your dollars. The financial order of operations. Because I hear Matthew, when you're asking the question, I feel like I'm $50,000
so
behind.
The chat is telling me maybe they were talking to Matthew that he might only have $50K.
So that's even more.
The way he phrased it, I took it a different way, but that does change the conversation.
And look, I even have questions because he has debts on his cars. And I want to know if
on
that's
the cars,
23,
by the way, yeah.
if that's 23,
40K. So that's 40K across 2 cars.
40K. I mean, is that paid off within 3 years? And that's 2 cars. So that's not like it's not like huge loans on each one, but there's a lot of variables that are in there. So that's why I would encourage, Matthew, you've got to do the work of going through the financial order of operations, because what Bo's hitting on is that there are some mental things you should be aware of. Is that obviously the younger you are, the more valuable the time of letting your army of dollar bills work for you. And that's why I do get sad when I find out that 20 and 30-year-olds are like, maybe they got to 15% saving and investing, and they're like, now I can finally pay off that 5.9% mortgage. Meanwhile, maybe they need to be doing more to the Roth 401k or investing for the future, because instead of going to the extremes of being completely debt-free or the extremes of YOLO, and I'm kind of right in the middle, is that I say there's a time and a place for everything in your life financially. And the fact that when you're young, when your money is worth the most, the time is worth the most, I want you to prioritize saving and investing, take advantage of all the tax benefits. As you get older, 45 and beyond, I'm in that camp. That's when you start seeing the stats that you can now prepay your debt without feeling like you're sacrificing the opportunity cost of what that money could become. Now, we have a few things to get you motivated here, Matthew. I want you to go to moneyguy.com/resources. We have a wealth multiplier tool that will let you go on there and see what every dollar you have, or every dollar that you've already invested, could become. But I also want to encourage you, when you go download the free copy of the Financial Order of Operations, and if you want to, we have several things if you want to even accelerate and go deeper dive. We have a course if you go to learn.moneyguy.com, but we also have a book coming out May of next year that you can pre-order right now called Millionaire Mission. I want you to go to moneyguy.com/millionaire mission to check that out. But here's the thing. When you get to step 7, you're going to start trying to figure out, am I ahead or behind? Because if you're trying to figure out if you're paying off a house, that's a step 9. Because even at 5.9%, there's people right now that are listening to this question going,
I wish that was my interest
Who's complaining
rate?
about 5.9%? That's cheap compared to the 7.3 or 7 3/8 that other people are taking out on brand new houses. So you have to, there's a time and a place on your wealth building journey. Don't skip steps. Go check out the Financial Order of Operations, because, and if you do the course like Know Your Number and other things, you'll know if you are ahead of, or behind on the curve. Because I don't know if you just have 50,000 or if you feel like you're behind 50,000. We need to put numbers to this plan so we know, are you behind the curve, ahead of the curve, or sitting up under the curve because you need to play catch up. And that's really good to tell you, because if you're behind, you're probably going to need to, especially at age 40 or early 40s, you need to make some hard decisions on how you're going to save and invest. But do things in the right time and place to maximize your journey, but also still to let you balance that. Because I think a lot of people give us a bad rap. They go, these guys are all about the maximization. No. We're also about risk minimization. We're also about making sure you have to get wealthy behaviors and then stay wealthy behaviors. A lot of people jump over here to stay wealthy before they've even built wealth. And if you've only got $50,000 at 40, Matthew, that could be, you need to get wealthy before we start worrying about stay wealthy behaviors. But we've given you all the tools and resources to go ahead and catch you wherever you are in your financial journey.